Yeah, the three wise men are like, what is the air speed of the swallow? And then they give Jesus the Game Boy. Yeah, this is all in there. Riddle Me This, Batman. What's a podcast that compares T.S. Eliot to Pokemon? Did you guess To Kill a Delibird? Then you're right, Batman. This is To Kill a Delibird, the premier Pokemon anime rewatch podcast where we analyze the episodes, compare them to books, manga, anime, video games, just have a whole lot of fun breaking them down. You do not need to be a Pokemon fan because we will explain everything in an excruciating amount of detail. And speaking of detail, we have the background producer for To Kill a Delibird joining us today. He's been on the podcast once before in the Butterfree episode, back by popular demand. Nolan.
By two people? Is that popular demand?
With our size of audience, yes.
It's a whole 66% of the audience.
It's a raving popular demand.
I'll take it. How are you guys doing?
Kellan.
Oh yeah, I'm also here. You didn't go to me.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Kellan, how
Nolan
are you?
was introing
Jesus.
you.
Are you lovely today?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's get this over with. I want to keep playing Pikmin 4.
Oh, this again. We're a Pokemon podcast. And then you jump on here and you talk about Pikmin, you talk about Zelda, you talk about the Mario movie. Get your priorities straight.
We'll talk about Barbie next week. Don't worry.
Okay, what's the fascination with Barbie?
It looks so fucking
This is
good.
the week in that Barbie the movie's coming out, and people are losing it over this film. So it's a comedy, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does look funny. Is that it? Is that the
it's
appeal,
not-
that it's funny?
It's not a Barbie movie. It's a Barbie movie. That's as well as I can put it. Really.
Elaborate.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
It's not like a Barbie movie that's for kids and is like a animated piece of garbage. It's self-aware
Satire. Hey.
I don't know, satire. It's self-aware and oh my
A
god.
scathing deconstruction of society.
That, yeah, sure, we can go with that. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that what
I think that's
commentary
it.
is?
Well, I
But
love,
it's just
I like
supposed to be really
animated
good.
pieces of crap. Why do you think I do this podcast? Heyo.
But no, it's not just it's not Barbie. It's Barbie, you know?
You can't just repeat something with emphasis.
I guess I
and
can.
expect like that adds meaning.
I absolutely can.
I think I'll get it when I watch it.
Well, have you seen the trailers?
Yeah, I saw the trailer that's spoofing like 2001: A Space Odyssey with the little girls.
You gotta watch the
instead of
actual
monkeys.
trailers.
I mean, that's a pretty good spoof, though. And like Margot Robbie is like the obelisk.
You gotta watch the actual trailers because Margot Robbie walks onto the beach and she's like, "Hi, Barbie." And another Barbie's like, "Hi, Barbie," and they're all going and looking at each other, going, "Hi, Barbie, hi, Barbie, hi, Barbie, hi, Ken, hi, Ken, hi, Ken, hi, Ken, hi, Barbie, hi, Ken." Everyone's named Barbie or Ken, and it's great. And then Michael Cera's there, and he's Alan.
I wasn't too excited
Oh.
for it until I watched the other night. I watched the movie The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling, and it's a buddy cop comedy, and it's kind of like lampooning in a sense. It's like lampshades a lot of the tropes in those films, and Ryan Gosling's like he's absolutely hilarious in it. So he's got the comedic chops. So I think it actually will be really, really funny.
That's a good call. I haven't seen that movie. I kind of want to now, though. What's it called? The Nice Guys?
The Nice Guys. It's
Okay.
really
Yeah,
good.
that sounds funny. That sounds funny.
It's very self-aware.
Margot Robbie's also really funny in
Yep.
The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, but The Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is terrible, but The Suicide Squad is really good. And Harley Quinn
some
is
kind of the Suicide Squad.
basically. And Harley Quinn's actually funny in that one, as opposed to just Suicide Squad, where it's kind of cringe. Well, I opened up the episode by quoting the Riddler with Riddle Me This. And I did that because we're going to be talking about 2 episodes today of the Pokemon anime. Episode 60, Riddle Me This, and episode 61, Volcanic Panic. Riddles. Okay, got obsessed thinking about riddles. Like, this is just riddle mayhem. I'm not going to do my full list kind of thing this week. We got Nolan on, and we're going to dive into the episodes, and we're going to have some good banter. these were fun, over-the-top shonen anime episodes, and we're going to let them breathe.
Oh, yeah.
But I do have a quick little appetizer. Just 20 minutes before we started recording, I decided to see if I could write my own riddles, okay? So I have 3 fairly bad riddles, okay?
Leaving the assignment to the last minute.
These aren't very good, but that is why they're fun. So
They can't be worse than the ones in the episode.
It's true.
They're comparable. Yeah, I did try to make them Blaine quality riddles, okay? So I'm going to ask you 2 my 3 riddles and see if you can get them.
Got it.
Okay? Okay?
What is your name? What is your favorite color? What is the airspeed of a latent speed of a
African or European? All right. We've been quoting that scene for like weeks. It's like come back again. It's like
it's gonna come full
Holy
circle
Grail
one more time,
is
I'm sure.
in the zeitgeist. Yeah. Okay, riddle number 1. What is what it eats?
You.
No, that's not right. Try again.
shit?
What is what it eats?
This thing is what it eats.
Thing is what
It's
it
a character. This character is what it eats.
Are these Pokemon related riddles or just general?
No, but this one is a video game character.
Okay.
Kirby.
Kirby.
Ah,
Yeah.
Kirby.
Oh, point to Kellan.
Oh, crushing it.
All right. What is ripest when it is rotten?
It is ripest when it is rotten.
Bananas, because you can make banana muffins out of them. What
It's a good guess. Good guess.
are you talking about?
Think
That's so
stupider.
right.
Think stupider.
Think I'm a 4-year-old at heart.
Is it poop?
Oh, it's poop.
Right direction, but no.
A fart.
Bingo! Because of the phrase a ripe fart. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Well, okay, we're tied. We're tied up. 1 point each. You cannot write them like this, folks. We are going into the final turn.
The riddle off.
The riddle off continues. Riddle number 3. What flies but never above your head?
Stomach butterflies. I don't know.
Good guess. Nope.
Flies, but never above your.
Your zipper.
Your zipper.
Ah.
That was fucking stupid.
Bingo. Well, you make better riddles, tough guy.
Maybe I will. I will not, but maybe I will.
You sounded like Gary there for a second.
A little
You're
spurs,
you
yeah.
gotta
Twerp. What are you doing over here?
You do have a goal to do impressions of like the whole Pokemon cast, right?
I do like doing
Your
impressions. I'm
Meowth
not good
is
at them,
good.
but I
Your
like
Gary,
it. I like it.
your Gary's coming along.
We'll get there.
Gary's got a very
Hopefully.
punchable voice.
That's the goal.
He has the
That is
Mark
the goal.
Zuckerberg face of voices.
Yeah.
Well, boys,
All right.
do you want to get into the episodes?
Let's jump into it.
Sure.
Episode 60, Riddle Me This. I just wanted to ask, what did you guys think of these episodes?
The first one is okay, but you pair it with the second one, and it fucking rips
Yeah,
ass, dude.
as a combo, they're really good. I really enjoyed them.
This is actually peak Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
fantastic.
little stupid, but like I was actually getting into the second episode.
Oh, it was great.
Good fight
Yeah.
sequences. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay,
Some
yeah, so
some
episode
bullshit
60,
science.
Riddle Me This.
Yes.
So we start off, the gang is on a ship now. They're off to Cinnabar Island. It has a volcano and one of the best Pokemon research labs in the world, we hear. And hey, look at that. Gary's here as well with his cheerleaders.
Is this ship like from the same company that makes the SS Anne? Didn't it look really
Probably.
similar? Do all ships just look like this in Pokemon?
Well, I mean, if you look at like the Carnival cruise lines, they've got a whole bunch of ships, and they all look
It's that kind
exactly
of
the
ship,
same.
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking. I want to find out about this company, and I would like to know what sort of scrutiny happened after the disaster of the SS Anne.
Yeah.
This company is still operating. What kind of safety procedures have put into place?
Not many. They specifically avoided, putting safety measures in for budget reasons.
Yeah, that always goes well.
That always goes well. So Ash thinks everybody on board are trainers. He's like, oh my god, there's so many trainers here. What if they all want to fight? And Gary's like, those aren't trainers. Everyone here is a tourist. No one goes to Cinnabar anymore, not since my grandpa was a trainer. Fucking roasted. Holy shit.
That's cool lore, though, that Professor Oak wasn't always just a Pokemon researcher. He actually trained as well.
Yeah, he says that when you're getting your starter.
Oh, did
in
he?
Red and Blue. Yeah, he's like, oh, in my day, I had so many Pokemon, but now I only have these 3 left.
Oh, so he's been giving away. What a charitable man.
What if
What a
that
good
was
guy.
Gary's
We like Oak.
maternal grandmother he's talking about
Oh,
now?
it's
And
true.
Oak is his
It's a different
paternal
Assume
grandfather.
it's Mr.
A
Oak.
different grandpa for no reason. They don't even elaborate on it.
His name is Spruce. No, that's actually an actual professor's name, isn't it?
No.
Elm.
No, they haven't done Spruce.
Elm, birch, rowan, juniper, sycamore, Kukui.
Sycamore.
Sycamore.
Magnolia, and Sada and Turo. Those are the main ones.
So no Spruce. There you go.
Nope.
Right, so Gary is lounging in a very loud Hawaiian shirt, as loud as his voice. Who let this loser on board? Gary sucks. Like, he's the type of guy
Really?
where, like, when he
That's
talks,
a hot take.
I don't know. I can see why Ash gets fired up. In real life, I don't know what I would say back to someone like that. I would just be like, what?
I just wouldn't. I
What?
would just ignore
I'd
them.
just like walk away. I'd be like, what?
I just had a little bit of a brainwave. Okay, there's a theory Professor Oak and Ash's mom are a couple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Is there
Absolutely.
what's the supporting evidence for that?
Well, the Beauty
They showed
and
up at the beach together.
Right,
is
okay.
the one where they kind of seem couple-ish, honestly.
Okay.
They show up together multiple times.
How long do
throughout the
people
series.
assume this relationship has been going on?
I don't know.
I think they say that it's like the theories that he sends Ash away so that
They can get some alone
isn't-
time.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Some others isn't busy kind of taking care
Do
of him.
you ever meet Ash's father?
Nope, never.
None of the episodes.
Oh my
Not-
God. You're going to
not
say that
concretely.
they're related because Oak is Ash's father.
Because Ash is another name for a tree, is another tree species.
Oh.
They
I don't
are
know.
actually from the same line. Gary does not have a tree name, hence he is adopted.
They are
Well, he has Oak.
cousins.
His last name is Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
they're,
his last
they're cousins
name.
and they don't know it.
Oh
That's
my
why they have
God.
the same nose.
It's not because of, anime.
Animation style. They are actually related. That's what would make it weird if they started making out.
Bitter rivals.
Gary also tells them that Cinnabar apparently doesn't have a gym anymore. And Ash is like, excuse you? That has to have a gym. This is very important to me. But apparently doesn't have a gym. And on arrival, they do see Cinnabar has become a bit of a tourist trap.
Gary has his girls with him again. These
As always,
grown
yeah.
women who follow a 10-year-old boy around. They like repeat things he says. He's like, there's no gym here. They're like, Gary knows it all.
Yeah, Gary. Shit on this kid.
Imagine having a squad of women who follow you around and just like support your wild claims. I don't think that's healthy.
It's called Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
I thought
see how
Twitter
that
just
goes.
shits on everyone.
Yeah, but then you got people in the replies being like, yeah, you're right. You're a fucking horrible person, but you're right.
We all know what happens when you get like tech bros that surround themselves with yes men. It just never ends well.
You get Twitter.
You get current Twitter.
You get current Twitter.
Dictators that surround themselves for yes, man.
Yeah, just doesn't work.
So yeah, Cinnabar is a tourist trap now. We see Jigglypuff had snuck on board. Jigglypuff's back. She's at Cinnabar too.
I was looking
You love
forward to
Jigglypuff?
seeing what's happening. I always loved the Jigglypuff gags.
You love Jigglypuff.
Oh, they're good.
And then some dude with this long blonde hair and a lot of facial hair comes up. He's like, hey, you want to listen to my riddle?
I like this guy's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what do tourists think is hot and cool? And Ash thinks for a second. He's like, I got it. If you lay down in front of an open refrigerator and crap yourself in an electric blanket, you'll be hot and cool at the same
Did
time.
you say crap yourself in an electric blanket?
I said wrap yourself in
sounded
an
like,
electric
sounded
blanket.
like crap.
That would heat
This
you
guy's
up.
voice kind of has a combination of like Tommy Chong and Mitch Hedberg.
I think it's the same voice as the guy from the Snorlax episode.
Ah, that makes
It
sense.
sounds very similar.
Okay, that would make sense.
The other hippie dude.
He definitely has that stereotypical hippie energy.
Mhm.
What's
I was writing
happening?
him down as DB in my notes for Doobie Brothers.
That makes sense.
I just wrote him down as weird dude.
But Misty seems to be really good at answering these riddles because she's not an idiot like Ash.
Yeah, she like slows down and thinks for 1 second.
She figures it out. It's the hot springs.
And
where you can be
tourists
hot and cool.
think they're cool.
He says the tourist came for the hot springs and kind of took over the island. He laments this fact. He gets very upset. Spotlight shines down. They ruined the island.
There's a weird little animation thing I noticed because like he's got his like head back, but his mouth is massive like they do in anime, right?
Mhm.
But
Typical.
then they close his mouth, but they don't reduce the distance between his chin and his mustache. He's got a very, very large upper lip and chin. And
Well, they only have the
weird.
budget to move 10% of the photo and not the rest of it. So.
I did not notice that. That is very interesting, though. He's got a morphing face. Maybe he's a ditto as well. I've been trying to track who all could be a ditto in this.
I mean, he keeps wearing sunglasses. So.
Oh. I think they're everywhere, man. They've infiltrated society.
So the gang asks him about the gym. He's like, oh, well, it's right where you put your glasses. And I think about it for a second. Oh, that means in front of your eyes. Fucking got him. So he points over. He's like, that's the gym, dudes. And they look over, and it's just a shack that's fallen over. It's nothing.
I was going to say this kind of reminded me of driving through the Canadian prairies.
Yeah. Random falling down buildings.
Random dilapidated shack. And you're like, this isn't a map, this is a town.
Weird dude gives the explanation that the gym leader got tired of the tourists. He got sick and tired of it, and he just abandoned his gym. And so there is no gym, I guess. And he gives them his card to the Big Riddle Inn, and he's suddenly gone. He's disappeared.
Misty calls him out for complaining about the tourists, but then owning a hotel. That's for tourists.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's just scratching the surface on this.
Yeah.
Comparing like his hypocrisy within the capitalist system that he lives.
The hypocrisy of anti-tourism while owning a hotel.
Yeah.
He hates the tourist and thus is taking their money.
Exactly.
So that they are poorer.
I hate Walmart. I'm a shop there. Just kidding.
I mean, that's everybody.
That's everybody.
That's literally everybody.
I hate Amazon, but I'm not
no
gonna
one
stop
likes Walmart.
using it.
They go off to this research lab. They don't go in it. They just go up to them and like, ugh, there's all these souvenir stands here. It's a tourist trap as well. And that's it. And they go off to the Pokemon Center. There's really nothing there.
This episode does paint tourism in kind of a weird way. Like it's really like a plague. Like they're acting like it's like the downfall of the soul of the island.
In a way it is, because when I was in London, in England, it felt like a theme park. It genuinely felt like a theme park.
Yeah, there's it's actually interesting that this we watched this episode now because I was just watching or listening to an episode of another podcast that I listened to, and they were talking about how tourism is detrimental to the environment, landscapes, and the people that live in massive tourist areas. Like something like in Hawaii, tourists outnumber locals like 7-1 or something crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers, and it has a very very negative effect on the people that live there.
You heard it here first, folks. If you don't want people showing up at your town, make it shit.
It cannot be that simple though, because like for a lot of these places, it's also like a big economic driver.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you find the balance?
There were some solutions floated. Like they were talking mostly about like the national parks in the United States, about how like people go to like 3, Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Glacier, and that's like it, right? Yeah. Whereas they could promote the other national parks and try to get people spread out more, right? And make it easier for people to go other places too, so that they're not all flocking to these singular areas necessarily. And then like putting caps on the amount of visitors obviously is a big one.
Right. So it's got to do with like density, I guess.
Yeah, it's a density issue.
Because tourism itself doesn't seem like a terrible thing.
Oh, as a concept, no. It's like you go out, you explore the world, you get exposed to different things that you wouldn't normally get. It's a good. There's no downside to that. It's just there's too many people at one time in a lot of places, and and it becomes a problem. Like Venice is another one.
There you go. Yeah. More serious conversation. Nolan, make a joke. That was too serious.
Oh shit.
If you don't make a joke every 5 minutes on this podcast, you legally have to go to jail. Like you just have to walk to the nearest jail and turn yourself in.
Well, it's green and fuzzy, and if it falls out of a tree, will kill you.
A really big pickle.
A fuzzy pickle?
Yeah,
if you eat it, maybe it'll kill you.
Moldy pickle.
Nope, that's not it.
A moldy bird.
Nope. A pool table.
Oh,
I've heard that one. I couldn't think of it.
How the hell do pool tables climb trees?
Very carefully.
So tourism is bad.
That's the lesson here.
And tourism's so bad that Ash cannot find food. He's very hungry.
But before we go to the center, we see Team Rocket. They're on Cinnabar now too. Their scheme again this year or this week. Once again, capitalism.
Yeah,
running
this
a
time
snack stand.
it's going poorly though. They're not
But it's a
selling
flop.
any cookies.
Yeah. And then that's it. That's all we get from them there. They're like, oh, but what if we stole these Pokemon from the lab? And then we cut away. That's it. That's all we get.
Meowth goes, that's how the cookie crumbles. Might as well steal shit.
So yeah, we're at the Pokemon Center. They don't have rooms. It's so full. People are sleeping in the lobby. So there's no room there. So they go try a hotel. No rooms. They try another. No rooms. Another. No rooms. Another. No rooms. Another.
So
no rooms.
Pokemon centers, do they work like kind of like a hostel sort of situation?
I think so, yeah.
We've guessed that before. They definitely have hostile energy or sort of like free boarding space, which has also led us like curious about the funding models of Poke Centers because they seem public to the point where they have public support for trainers. Maybe it's not public. Maybe it's like funded by the Pokemon League. And we don't know how the Pokemon League is funded, but it does seem like some infrastructure in place to support trainers along their journey beyond just healing Pokemon, but also, room and board.
And so they're turned away at every hotel that they have. Ash says, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horsey. Which, Ash, two problems with this. One, there's a horsey in Misty's pocket right now. Do not say that around her. Very insensitive. Two, horsey is tiny. The whole point of the phrase, I could eat a horse, is that horse is large and has much meat on it. Horsey is this tiny little shit.
Should have been
there's nothing there.
Tauros. I could eat a Tauros.
Rapidash. A Rapidash. That's a horse.
I guess so.
It's definitely just a play off of the phrase and the sound horse.
Just a pun,
really?
Right?
Really? I didn't catch that. Right? Wow.
Well,
yeah.
You sound personally offended. I'm just trying to help smooth over the situation.
Is that pun any different in like the original Japanese or no?
I think so. Ash's so hungry I could eat a horsey line did not originally include any hyperbole. So he was just like, I'm really hungry.
Oh,
probably.
Okay.
Oh. So in Japanese, he's just like, fuck, I'm hungry.
God damn, I want a burger. So he follows his nose. He's like Toucan Sam. He follows his nose to a banquet Gary is at. He's like, oh, I smell food. And Gary opens the door. He's like, oh, I thought I saw little shits out here. And so
it's the Sucker Squad.
The Sucker Squad. That's what it was. And so him and his cheerleaders have a ton of food. And there's also a Hitmonlee and Electabuzz there in outfits, and I found
amazing.
That kind of silly.
Yeah, they're in like kimonos, like holding like instruments, right?
So I think they're the staff at this hotel.
I think they're like the geishas.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, so they've also pointed out on this island, and maybe this is coming up, but people don't seem to have Pokemon here. Yeah. So they've said that they're really like the only trainers.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the first times we've seen Pokemon like working too.
Other than Chansey, yeah.
Other than Chansey,
that's true.
Yeah.
And so Gary tells them, I'll give you my leftovers in a doggy bag if you spin around 3 times and say Pikachu. And Ash is like, no, we will never stoop to your level. But Pikachu is so hungry that he spins around 3 times and goes to say Pikachu, and Ash covers his mouth. He's like, no, we don't do that. Bad Pikachu, don't do that.
I like to imagine that Pikachu is going to do that just because, not just for Ash, but because it's the only word he can say.
Yeah.
So he's like, wait a minute.
I got this.
This is something I can solve.
This is on me. This one's mine. And so Gary tells him, I've never seen anyone so pathetic. Misty hits back with, have you tried a mirror?
Not only is she good at riddle, she's quick on her feet, folks.
Got him.
Classic 10-year-old insult.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
I know you
I'm
are,
gonna
but what am
fart
I?
in your face.
We need to bring back. I know I am, but I know you are, but what am I?
I know I am, but what are you?
I'm tired. Shut up.
No, that's even better.
Yeah, it is. If I'm a loser, then what does that make you if you're calling a loser? To their
but what
face.
are you? We should really be talking about our own identities and not trying to project onto others.
There you go. Exactly.
And then Jigglypuff shows up.
Amazing.
And the gang runs. They're like, no. This is not good. They run. Gary and the girls are sitting in. They're ready for the performance. They're here for
Gary's like, she's the entertainment. I like this idea that Gary, I thought watching the scene was a little surreal because Gary, first of all, is still trying to gloat, saying, oh, wow, this hotel even has entertainment. Jigglypuff walks out. And he does not realize the implications.
No idea.
The gang goes running, but he's like, this is going to be such a good show. And that was kind of messing with my head. I was thinking, what reality would Gary, A, not know anything about the Jigglypuffs, and B, see this creature and be like, this is going to be a great performance.
Well, she's holding a microphone.
So they think.
So they think. I'm marker, but yeah, her microphone. And so she starts singing, and everyone conks out. They're sleeping on clouds.
Amazing.
It's very cute. I loved it. But
looks
Jigglypuff
nice.
gets pissed.
She always pissed.
As is typical. Draws on him. Classic. And then we go back to the gang. Brock finally remembers, hey, didn't that weird guy give you a card for a hotel? And they pull it out, and it's got a riddle on it for the directions. It says something about, look at the swings and you'll see my hands or my face.
If you look near the swing, you'll see my hands, or at least my face. Not another riddle, Ash.
But Misty figures it out again. If you look at the swings and you look up, you see a building that has a clock on it, which has hands and a clock face. That's the hotel. That's
Pretty
the big
sure
riddle inn.
any riddle that talks about hands or a face, it's a clock.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe assumption.
Yeah.
Like at least 90%.
Gotta be like a riddle meta, like just some good heuristics for solving riddles.
Like that dude that does GeoGuessr in like 2 seconds.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Process of elimination super fast.
Doesn't he know stuff too, though, about like the color of the dirt and things?
The color of the dirt. He like uses the color of the dirt, the color of like bollards and like signs and light posts and power poles and stuff. And he uses all of that information to like narrow it down like super fast.
I've tried GeoGuessr a couple times. I'm an uncultured swine. I do not know anything about the world.
I would like to imagine that when you play GeoGuessr, Kellan, you're like, Hyrule. Kanto. That's definitely in Kanto.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Nintendo World GeoGuessr would be my shit. I'd be so good at that.
That weird Earth-like planet that Pikmin takes place on, that's not Earth, but seems very much like Earth.
No, it is Earth.
Well, then
It straight up is Earth.
You're very confusing because when you were playing the demo with me, you kept saying on this planet instead of just saying on Earth.
What is Earth? I explicitly told you that it was Earth.
Then you kept
and you were
saying
like,
on this planet. It was very confusing.
And you were like, "Oh, this can't. How would all of these things still be in good shape after how many thousands of years?" Like you were being a little bitch about it.
Wow, that was a weird impression. So the inn.
Where the hell were we?
Well, Misty solved the riddle, found the big riddle inn.
Yeah, so they go up to the hotel. They have rooms, and Blaine, or not? Sorry, this is not Blaine. We don't know who this is.
Whoa!
This is the weird
Spoilers!
Dude. Holy
Whoa,
shit! I'm so
whoa.
sorry.
Call him Doobie Brother.
Doobie Brother tells them, "Since you were so good at finding my hotel, I'm gonna give you a free room." And Ash is like, "Wow, thank you. Your riddles may be dumb, but your prizes are terrific."
Come on, Ash.
That was a good one.
So we go back to the lab we saw earlier in the episode. We see a bunch of fighting Pokemon and a Poliwhirl working out.
Is there a lab or research facility on the island in the games?
Yeah, that's where you revive your fossils.
Right, okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Because then when you go back in like Gold and Silver, is it burned down or is that a different?
Yeah, between Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, the volcano erupted and destroyed the entire island.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa. So does this canonically happen between the two games?
No, this is its own canon in terms of like the story.
Oh,
Ash
so
is not the character from the games. That's Red.
Well, just live a little, man. Could it be? I mean, we see some stuff happen to the island in this episode.
So the Pokemon Televitic universe is different than the video games
Yes.
canon. Okay.
Yes. Because I don't believe we will ever see Cinnabar Island be leveled by a volcano. It almost got leveled by a volcano, but it didn't.
Spoilers.
And I also don't believe that you ever see a volcano on Cinnabar in the games. Like, I don't know where the volcano
don't
is
remember
supposed to
that
be.
I could have
either,
sworn there was like a giant wall on the west side that you couldn't cross. Like it was very skinny. Like in it's just I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's
No,
water.
I don't think so. It's just water. It's just water on all sides.
Oh yeah, I'm misremembering it.
Like, the Heart Gold and Soul Silver has a big crater,
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
But-
thinking of.
but it doesn't, like, we don't see a volcano in, like, Fire Red
Right.
and Leaf Green or Red Blue.
Yeah,
Unless it's, like, underneath the gym.
yeah,
or
no, you're right.
something.
I'm misremembering it. Yeah, on Gen 2, the only building on Cinnabar is the Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
Well, but in Gen 2, there's a giant, like, there's a big mountain wall. Yeah,
In
yeah, I
Gen
found
2,
it.
it's
Here it
level
is.
2.
Yeah, in Gen 2, there's a volcano with a crater. So between Gen 1 and Gen 2, a volcano emerged, erupted, and destroyed the island.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's some seismic
Well,
activity.
Very active area.
The map description from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee says the town at the foot of a volcano. The Pokemon Mansion is located here. So it's at the foot of a volcano. The volcano is just off screen, I guess.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anyway, that's another detour. Where were we again?
Good detours are good.
Well, so the lab. Lots
That's
of
where the adventure
Pokemon working
happens.
out.
The lab.
It's Pokemon workout hour at the lab. And Team Rocket, flying in on their balloon, starts the chant. But Meowth cuts them off.
Yes. He doesn't just cut them off. He blasts through the rest of the motto.
He's like,
he gets it done real
light
quick.
speed and all of that.
All that stuff. And then throws a bomb at the lab.
Let's rob the lab.
And so, yeah, he starts blowing up the lab, and we go back to the hotel where the Doobie Brother gets a call. He's like, oh no, something's happening to the lab.
I really
And so
enjoyed that cut between the two scenes. It was really good.
Then they go back to the lab where Team Rocket has all these Pokemon in a net and they're flying away. But the Doobie Brother and the gang come up on them. Ash has Pidgeotto and Pikachu team up. They go pop the balloon, releasing the Pokemon and sending Team Rocket blasting off again. And that is all we will see of them this episode.
They're not just flying away with the Pokemon. They're Jesse and James are physically lifting all of these Pokemon in a net. Now, Kellan, I know how much you love doing
all right,
Pokemon weight math.
What Pokemon were in the net there?
Okay, so there was a Machoke, a Machop. Is it a Poliwhirl or a Poliwrath?
Poliwhirl.
I think it was a Whirl. The Hitmonlee. Was it Hitmonchan as well? So here we go. So we got a Poliwhirl, Machop, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Primeape, and a Machoke.
Altogether, that is 533.5 pounds.
That's a lot. That's a lot of pounds. Jesse and James don't seem particularly muscular.
They're each pushing 275.
And that's dead. That's basically dead weight too.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I was going to say
It's
that
very,
it's a
very
fairly tough exercise too, right? Like pulling it up like that.
Yep. Yeah,
like
that's
a deadlift
deadlift,
combined with something. I mean, a person who's working out can deadlift over 200 pounds.
Oh,
like a regular
easily.
person.
Yeah. Like somebody that's really fit. That's not anything crazy. That's just like lifting a person. But they don't seem particularly buff.
Right.
But it's anime, I guess.
So, yeah, they go blasting off again. That is all we will see of Team Rocket in this episode. It is a very short Team Rocket segment, but we have more important things to get to. They just had to kind of be here. That was it.
I don't know if anything's more important than Ash saying, I'm about to burst their bubble, and then spinning his hat around, sending Pidgeotto and Pikachu into the sky.
I love when Pikachu teams up with Pidgeotto.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So cool.
You get that psychotic Pikachu smirk too again. It's amazing. Last time I was on, he did the same thing, and
That's
it was
true.
great.
Ooh. Doobie Brother says, Ash, you deserve a reward for that. And so he tells them that Blaine does have a gym. It's just where tourists can't see it. It's in a place where firefighters never win. What could that mean? And so we cut. They're later.
A police
they're
bar.
at the hot. They're at the hot springs, the famous Cinnabar hot springs, and they're contemplating the riddle, trying to figure it out.
Ash, Brock, and Misty have been in pools together.
Mhm.
There's a fence going across this one. Is the implication that you're supposed to be in the nude in these hot springs?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah, more or less. This is supposed to be a traditional onsen, which is a natural water hot spring in Japan, and it also has like a pretty big culture tied to it. Like there's like a scene of onsens. They're just typically divided by gender, and yes, it's encouraged that you go in naked. Many of them you have to go in naked. So you and the boys go and get to know each other really well and have a great time.
You and the boys juniors go and
Yeah, lots of other streamers and stuff have listened to like talk about their Japan trips and how like they all just like look at each other's dicks because it's just like part of the experience. So that is kind of the onsen thing. This is also a huge cliche in anime, the hot spring episode, where they all go to a hot spring. And of course, it's like a chance to like have a lot of sex appeal. So they show all the girl side, and then they show the guy side, and the guy side they're trying to like sneak a peek, and then something bad happens to the guys because they're trying to be perverts, so they all fall over and everybody laughs. It's like, okay. So dumb.
But that inspiration from the real world that typically you're supposed to be naked in a hot spring leads into the next segment where Togepi is adventuring around the hot spring. It's very adorable. I love Togepi. She jumps up on one of the fountains where it lowers like a booby trap, which knocks over the fence, dividing Misty from the guys, and they see each other, and they freak the fuck out.
Swimming Pikachu is also very cute.
Oh, it's very adorable.
Also like these faucets. So the faucet feeding the hot spring is like a Gyarados. It's pretty badass. It's like a gargoyle Gyarados.
It's great.
It's really cool. Get one of those for my yard.
Yeah, you should. Maybe we could make them. Or like, by make them, I mean find them on Etsy. Yeah.
And so after they scream about seeing each other on opposite sides of the hot spring, we immediately cut to that they have opened the secret passage that opened up. And so they are wandering below the hot springs when they come across this big door that's super hot, but it opens up and it reveals a battle stadium in the volcano. Doobie Brother is down here too.
Wonderful.
I really like when they get to the door and there's this like heavy steel door and it's like really hot. And Ash is my favorite detective. He goes, "It's a door."
And so Blaine goes into this long ass riddle about something about you wear it, but it's not a hat, but it protects you.
I got it.
Yeah, I assumed so.
He also grabbed the handle and pulled away, but he's wearing gloves.
Who?
I mean,
Ash?
it's a volcano, but I don't think those gloves are particularly thick.
But then they just open it. It's like not a problem for very long.
No.
Yeah, it's those really bad automatic doors at Walmart that you have to like right up to them.
It sensed them. It's just on a
He's just like waving, and then he like waves again. He's like, "Oh fuck, this thing's everywhere."
Jumping on the mat.
So they walk in, and the Doobie Brother goes, "It's not a hat, but it keeps your head dry. If you wear it, it's only because you already lost it." And Ash goes, "An umbrella?" And Brock goes, "Well, an umbrella keeps your head dry, but you don't wear it because you lost it." I like how Brock is like the voice of reason to the extent of like he sounds like an idiot because he'll like try to apply logic to things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Ash is like, "Yeah, I guess not." Misty right away, sharp as a tack. "It's a wig." And Ash is like, "Huh?" Misty's like, "A wig isn't a hat, but it keeps your head dry in the rain. And the only reason you wear a wig is if you already lost your hair."
And so Doobie Brother reveals he is wearing a wig. He removes the disguise. He is Blaine, the Cinnabar Island gym leader.
Okay, let's talk about this. So he was Blaine all along. He was disguised so they wouldn't know what he looked like. They didn't know what Blaine looks like, right?
No, I don't think so.
So why did he need a disguise?
For other people, maybe.
Oh,
so he wouldn't get recognized.
Yeah, not everyone's as stupid as
I guess
Ash.
he's hiding from, like, this is, like, something he's doing for the whole island. He's, like, pretending to be, like, a weird dude.
Okay, so I got another little game
Ooh.
for us here.
Ooh.
Oh.
In Red and Blue and all the other Kanto games, Blaine's gym is based around riddles and questions. And so you go into the gym and you talk to the machine and it's like, hey, if you get this question right, you can move on in the gym. If you get it wrong, you have to fight the trainer here. And so I'm going to ask you guys the Generation 1 questions from this gym. Let's see if you can get them right.
All I remember is purposely doing it wrong so I could have the battle.
Yeah.
I think you just talk to the trainer.
Oh.
So you were wasting time.
Oh, dang.
Unoptimal play. Wow.
Yeah.
Called out.
I min-maxed poorly.
Your speed run time is pathetic.
Speed run.
All right, so I'm going to keep track of your scores. Here's your first question.
Wait. Do we, like, buzz in, or how do you want us to answer?
No, you just answer however you want, and then I'll reveal the correct answer.
Okay.
So, Generation 1. Here, first question. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. Yes or no?
False.
Eventually?
Yes or no, Nolan?
I guess no, technically.
Ooh, it's incorrect. In Generation 1, it says that the correct answer is yes.
What? Why?
Yeah.
But that's wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's Gen 1, and so many things are wrong.
Yeah, Gen 1 sucks.
In Generation 3, they changed it to Caterpie evolves into Metapod. Yes or no? And then yes is the correct answer. All right, second question. There are 9 certified Pokemon League badges. Yes or no?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's
No.
counting.
You had to count that?
Yes.
Jesus. Okay, so you both
Sorry.
said no. You're both right. Correct.
Woo! Although in the show they allude that there's like a billion.
More. Yeah.
They even kind of make mention of that
Later.
Later in,
Yeah, they
like, in the
do.
second episode, I think.
Mhm.
Kind of implies that there's more, too.
Question 3. Poliwag evolves 3 times. Yes or no?
No. It
No.
evolves twice.
Correct. It does evolve twice.
Nothing evolves 3 times at that point.
Question 4. Are thunder moves effective against ground element type Pokemon? Yes or no?
No.
Correct.
Oh my god, we're so
Very
smart.
easy.
Yes. I've always wanted to be smart.
Me too.
Question 5. Pokemon of the same kind and level are not identical? Yes or no?
Same kind and level. They're not identical. So wait, that would be yes.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Correct. Due to individual values and effort values.
When you can name them different, you could name one Poop and the other Larry.
You could do that. Yeah. Final question. Question 6. TM28 contains Tombstoner. Yes or no?
That doesn't
No.
sound like a move, no.
Correct.
Tombstoner.
You each got 5. Well done. 5 out of 6.
The Undertaken's special move.
It's TM28 typically contains Dig.
Tombstoner sounds like the name of like a donaire, like at like a local donaire shop they would have that like this is like their biggest donaire that all the hotheads get, and it just lays them out.
There you go. That's the name for my sandwich truck.
Oh yeah, Tombstoner.
Tombstoner.
Tombstoner. Nice.
Back to the episode. This is Blaine. He is ready for a 3-on-3 fight with Ash. And so we get, for the first time in like, 40 episodes? 30, 40 episodes?
Proper battle.
A gym battle, baby.
It's been a while.
I don't get the
It's been a hot
mechanics
minute.
of this. Okay, so he says 3-on-3. That would imply best 2 out of 3. He loses the first 2, so why even do the third? He loses Squirtle to Ninetales, right?
Yep.
And then and then Charizard doesn't fight, right? So that's 2. So why fight the third?
Yeah, I think it's a 3v3 endurance. So what we don't see though, what doesn't make sense is why does he pull back the Ninetales?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They always pull back every
Yeah.
single time. They say like, my Ninetales beat your Squirtle. Okay, that one's over.
Yeah, in the first seasons, they make battles out to be, it's Ninetales versus Squirtle. Ninetales beats Squirtle. That's
Okay.
1 point.
Right, exactly.
And you
That's
pull
what it
Ninetales
seems
back.
like, yeah.
But it's kind of switching between that and the
And an
typical
endurance
Pokemon battle.
battle.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it's weird.
So anyway, start the fight. It is Ninetales. He sends out Ninetales first, and Ash is like, "Ha! I knew he'd choose a fire type. What was your first fucking clue, Ash? You're in a volcano. Come on."
Well, he needed a Pokedex at first because he didn't know what Ninetales was.
Yeah, so let's talk about Ninetales. Ninetales is the evolved form of Vulpix. It is basically big Vulpix. It has turned this like cream color, and it has, get this, 9 tails.
Very, very pretty Pokemon.
Do you know the origin of Ninetales? Like
A Keaton,
a what?
I believe.
Like
A Keaton. A
a
Keaton.
kitsune, I think it's
Same
called.
thing, I think.
Oh, okay. It's like a mythological, a spiritual fox creature in
Oh, wait, no,
Japanese lore.
Yeah, I was just looking up. It's just Kitsune.
Yeah, no, Keaton is the Zelda variant.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Okay.
That'd be me saying, "Oh, it came from Ari, which is a League of Legends champion that has guess it."
That is
many
inspired by
tails.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Graham being like, "This is anything from Lord of the Rings."
What? Why is that related? No, that's
Because
about
that's the
this-
only reference you ever
this
fucking
is
make.
about the origin of things, and the Lord of the Rings originated a whole lot of tropes.
It's its own origin. Yeah.
Whereas
Okay,
this
fine, whatever.
is the actual trope originator is mythology. And the League of Legends and the Zelda things are downstream of that. You could also, like, Naruto uses this. He's like
Yeah.
possessed by a kitsune spirit, a fox spirit.
So in the fight, Ninetales goes for Fire Spin, which is noted to be Ninetales' strongest move, which Fire Spin fucking sucks. And it meets with the Water Gun, and the fire immediately evaporates out Squirtle's Water Gun, killing him in one hit.
What is the difference visually in the anime between Flamethrower and Fire Spin? Because that just looked like Flamethrower to me.
None this time.
Oh, okay.
No. I think other times it's like Fire Spin is like surrounding.
Right. That's
The
what I thought
Pokemon,
it
which is
was.
what it's supposed to be. But
like
they
a fire
take liberties.
tornado.
They take many liberties.
Yeah, this episode also skewed my perception of like what fire is. Like that it could just win over water like that.
You want to know something cool though?
Yes.
What firefighters do if they ever get caught in a situation where like there might be a backdraft or they need to protect themselves, what they do is they lay down on the ground. There's a setting on their hose which sprays water. You know, like the mist setting on your garden hose?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like that, but it shoots it out in a circle. And then they lay behind that, and any fire that's going just goes over top of the water and protects them from the heat. So it's
Oh.
basically this fight here, flamethrower versus water gun, which is pretty cool in real life.
But it actually
So-
protects you.
But it actually protects you, yeah, because the water will absorb and evaporate the heat away, so it doesn't hit the people. So that's another serious note. So I have another joke since I have to tell jokes,
Yeah, you do.
Otherwise,
Okay.
you were banned
right? Why did Timmy fall out of the swing?
because he has no arms.
Damn it!
Knock knock. Who's there? Not Timmy.
Not Timmy.
Good try.
Dang.
That doesn't count as a joke. You're banned.
Poor Timmy. How did he lose his arms?
Cancer.
Arm cancer.
Jesus Christ.
He's got the arm cancer.
Minefield. Maybe that's better.
So Blaine swaps to Rhydon.
Right.
What kind of bullshit is this? That's not a fire Pokemon.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I'm the fire master. But you know
Yeah.
what? We'll let that slip for a bit. And this kind of thing happens later.
Well, it gets even stupider.
too. Yes, it's weirder.
But Ash, before he even sends out the Rhydon, he says he's going to fight fire with fire. It's time for Charizard to come on out.
I was just looking it up. Blaine doesn't even have a Rhydon in Pokemon Yellow.
No,
Yeah.
because it's stupid because he's a fire gym leader.
No sense. But I mean,
Dumb.
that's like Bruno has an Onyx.
Yeah, there are gym leaders that have an off-brand
Yeah,
Pokemon,
Agatha has
though.
nothing but poison types, and she's supposed to be the ghost master.
Right. Well, there was very few choices for ghosts.
There's
in
one
Gen 1.
ghost line. Yeah. Same with Dragon. Lance is like, I'm the Dragon Master, and he's got a Dragonite,
Two
and then
Dragonites.
Charizard, Aerodactyl, Gyarados. It's stupid.
Those
Anyway.
actually make a ton of sense visually, though.
Visually, yes.
That makes perfect sense.
But Charizard doesn't want to fight. Surprise, surprise.
Of course.
wants
to nap.
But Rhydon goes for the horn drill, and Charizard simply gets up and flies away for a nap.
So
He's ring out.
Good evasion technique.
Yeah. I didn't know it was that easy. So now it's up to Pikachu. Ash sends in Pikachu, and like you said, Blaine doesn't recall Rhydon or anything. And so Rhydon tries to go for the Fury attack.
Yeah, now
Pikachu
suddenly it's an endurance
dodges.
match. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes for the Thunderbolt, but Rhydon's a ground type and is thus immune. And so Ash tells him to go for the horn, and this works.
Yeah,
So
for some reason.
lightning, and then they
It's a
explain
lightning
the
rod.
theory of lightning rods. Yeah.
That's a lightning rod. So they show the horn spinning, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's shiny, it's like chromy. It makes sense that the horn itself is made out of metal, right?
But Rhydon is a ground type.
Yes, well, just let me finish.
No.
Okay.
Rhydon's ground type, that's it. Point blank.
Are the innards, are the inside bits of rock ground Pokemon also made out of rock and ground, or are they fleshy and they just have like a rocky
I think they're flesh.
outside exterior?
I think you could crack open a Geodude and slurp it up like a slug.
Like a sea urchin or a
Yeah,
scalp.
exactly.
What's interesting about this though is that when abilities are introduced, Rhydon can get the ability Lightning Rod.
And
Which-
what is that
What
ability?
does that do?
It draws in electric moves and makes you immune to them, which he already is. So like in a double
That's
battle,
the opposite
That's
of this, though. What happens here is it draws in the electric move and kills him.
yeah, I know.
Like lightning rods in real life are lightning prevention measures, not
Yeah.
lightning attraction measures, right? But like electricity gets to be more likely to go through something that's pointy, and if it's pointy and metal, well, shit, that's where it's going.
Yeah,
So-
this kind of feels like, okay, so, a huge inspiration in shonen anime is the manga JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And JoJo's, which started in the late 80s, always does this thing where it feels like the author of that, Araki, like read some pop science article or like opened an encyclopedia and sort of understood it, but sort of didn't. And then like meticulously explains it in a way that's like kind of right and kind of wrong to be the crux of the battle. And they do this every single battle because JoJo's battles are just weird puzzles like this. They're not really normal battles. And this felt very JoJo like this, like that, where they're like, now we're going to talk about lightning rods. And you're like, I guess.
So my point being, if the horn does act like a lightning rod and he has like a soft fleshy pad on the bottom of his foot, then yeah, okay.
Then it works?
Then it works. That makes sense.
Okay, sure. I'll agree with you so that we can just keep moving.
Oh, okay.
Well, Nolan's a teacher, and we've got him on the podcast to teach us about science using Pokemon as the crux. And we're going to get to the next...
my favorite thing to do, Pokemon science.
The next wackiest science examples coming up. Right
yeah, let's get to the next 5 seconds of the episode before we get sidetracked again.
Sorry, I'm upsetting Kellan.
We're gonna be here forever.
We love upsetting Kellan. He's only mad because he wants to play Pikmin so bad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd be fine with this.
So it's 1-1 now. Blaine has one more Pokemon, and this is fucking cool. He calls for his Magmar, and Magmar emerges from the lava itself.
Before that, he has a little line. He's introducing Magmar, right? He says, "This Pokemon is too hot to handle." And Ash thinks it's another riddle. He's freaking out. He's like, it's too hot in here for riddles.
But Magmar emerges. Magmar is on the field. Let's talk about Magmar, because Magmar is pretty cool. I like Magmar a lot.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah. He kind of looks like he has a butt on his forehead, but other than that, he's very cool.
He is this humanoid fire creature with a duckbill and boobs on his head.
Yeah, like in that, what's that Adam Sandler movie, Little Nicky, where the demon gets boobs on his head? Kind of like that.
The battle begins, fire punch, Pikachu dodges it, but one does connect at the end. He gets up, Thunderbolt, but Magmar blocks it with an air lens.
What is an air lens?
He heats the air around him to a high temperature that refracts electrical attacks.
Now this is bullshit. And I even looked it up.
No way.
This is JoJo as heck, too.
100% sure. So air itself is not like conductive, right? It's a poor conductive medium. That's why you don't have just like lightning going randomly into the air. It has to go to something physical, like another cloud or the ground, right? So it's a poor conductive medium. But as you heat it up, the particles in the air, the molecules in the air get farther and farther apart. It gets even worse. However, once you superheat it, okay, and you turn it into a plasma, then it becomes highly conductive. So he said he superheated the air, made it really, really, really hot, turned it into a plasma, and he should have died.
Okay, for the benefit of the doubt, though, it might not have been that hot. What if it was just hot enough that, because you said there's a phase before plasma where it's hot and it becomes poorer at conducting. Could it have just been in there?
Theoretically, but it's not like crazy. I think what I read was at about 6,000 Kelvin, it starts to increase in conductivity, and it's basically negligent, like the difference in conductivity between regular air and hot air. It doesn't make a difference. It's not like it's conductive before and not conductive after. Right. It's just not conductive, period.
So the air lens technique would have actually destroyed the Magmar.
Theory, yeah. Within the bounds of
this
the
part
logic.
Is even more JoJo, because JoJo's part 1 has a character named Speedwagon, who's very well known, who narrates the battles as they go on. His only role is to stand on the side of battles and scream like, "Oh my god, what is JoJo gonna do next? Oh, he's using this technique, blah blah blah." And this is kind of like that. Brock's like, "That's called an air lens. I'm gonna teach you about air lenses." Okay.
Yeah, my counterpoint to this whole air lens thing is that I don't care. It was cool.
Yeah, you're right. It is cool.
It was fun.
It is cool, but they take a lot of liberties with their electricity science in the show. When the main Pokemon character is electric, it just baffles me.
Wow, who would have thought?
I like both sides of this. I like both being like, yeah, that doesn't make sense, and being like, it doesn't make sense, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really cool, but...
The air lens, he heats the air and defends himself from electricity. Yeah, it would have made more sense if it was something that isn't electricity. Like, anything else that's physically flying at him, that might have made sense with.
So back to the fight. Pikachu is backed up to the edge of the field.
Oh.
And Magmar is going for the ultimate fire move. This is actually the ultimate fire move, Fire Blast.
And it looks so cool.
Pikachu is facing it head on, and we get a cliffhanger. What's
Pikachu
gonna happen?
versus the volcano. Will Pikachu be turned into the world's cutest lava lamp? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Was that a Joe versus the volcano joke, I wonder?
Yeah, right?
Had to have been. Had to have been. I assume that Fire Blast is a kanji symbol of some sort.
Yeah, we'll get into that more next episode. There's an interesting bit
Perfect.
about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into it there.
I thought it was too, but I didn't know what it is.
But that is the episode. Let's throw it into literary hour. I'm going to cover it this week. I got it. I got this one.
Okay.
Ooh.
The Bible. There's no room at the inn.
Oh, and he hits it out of the park. It's the Christmas story.
Except they do find an inn and they're not in a stable. That's where the plots diverge a little bit.
Shut
there.
the fuck up. I don't care.
No, it's exactly the Bible. Mary and Joseph can't find anywhere at the inn, so they go and solve riddles to be able to give birth to Jesus in a hospital. They find the riddle hospital run by the three wise men. Yeah, the three wise men are like, what is the air speed of the swallow? And then they give Jesus the Game Boy. Yeah, this is all in there.
All right, cool. 4 time. Let's move on.
I wonder what Jesus' favorite game would have been.
Jesus would have played.
I mean, he was a carpenter.
Oh, he would love The Sims. Jesus would like The Sims.
Yeah.
Or Minecraft. Jesus would like Minecraft.
But that's not a Game Boy game, Kellan.
I thought you like reversed yourself and said just a game.
No. Game
Also
Boy
Tetris.
Game.
Tetris.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Probably
Jesus
would
would have
like
liked Tetris. He's a basic bitch. We all like Tetris.
All right, let's actually do literary hour. Graham, do your
that was
actual
pretty
thing.
good. That was pretty good. and the one I wrote down is going to annoy the fuck out of you.
Oh my god, is it Lord of the Rings?
How dare you would assume it's
in the jar?
The Hobbit. It's the
I was gonna
Hobbit.
say,
Dollar in the jar.
isn't it?
Dollar in the jar.
No, it's the Hobbit. That's different.
No, it counts.
That's
That
a
counts.
different book.
Completely different book.
It's the chapter Riddles in the Dark from The Hobbit, where Bilbo first finds the ring, but Bilbo and Gollum have like a riddle battle. They have like
Riddle
a riddle off. Yeah, inside the Misty Mountains. And there's a whole bunch of riddles. Like here's one. 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still. What are they? Kellan?
I was barely listening. I was opening up the spreadsheet.
Oh, you fuckhead.
I heard something about
you
horses.
probably know that one, don't you?
I don't remember. It's been
Repeat
a long time
it?
since I've read or watched
30
The Hobbit.
white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
I don't know.
My brain's telling me some sort of a flower, but I don't know.
They're
if that's
teeth. The
Teeth,
answer's
right.
teeth.
Right.
Ah.
Well, I guess Gollum gets to eat you.
Yeah.
Yes, let's pour it. So at the end of every episode, we will randomly sample categories from the plastic ping pong pitcher of objective rankings, and then we vote on scores to give the episode a pure objective ranking. What do we got for our first category? Kellan.
First category will be the soundtrack.
Oh.
Oh,
No, I didn't-
shit. I thought we would have pulled that for the next one.
I wanted that for the next
Episode
one.
2 has like one of the best soundtracks yet.
There's some good soundtrack in the next episode. There's also some good one in this one when he's refracting the electric attack with the air lens. There's
That's
a
true.
sick electric guitar moment in there where it goes off. I love that.
Mhm.
So I'm just backing up. I'm just gonna listen to it.
I thought that was I think it's actually a pretty original piece. It's not like the other times where I'm like, oh, this sweet music comes back in for the first
And
time
it's
in a
the
while.
same song. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is like an actual this is the first time we hear it.
The music before Magmar gets introduced is really cool. It's like kind
That
of like
too.
mysterious, and then when Magmar gets introduced, it becomes like nefarious, kind of malevolent. It's really cool.
It's a pretty good,
You got,
pretty
you
good
got
stuff.
the marimbas going.
The scoring in both these
Ooh.
episodes is great.
The score in the second one blew my pants right off. I need
Yeah.
to go buy new pants. Like, it was so good.
There's like a big band playing when Magmar gets
Oh,
introduced. There's
right.
like trumpets flaring and the marimba doing that in the background. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
Magmar needs trumpets. Yeah, I agree. He's a trumpet Pokemon.
It's that duckbill.
Okay, I'm going 8.
7.
7.
I'm cool with an 8. I like 8.
8. That is what 7.666.
Repeating,
Repeating,
of course.
And category number 2 will be the jelly donut effect. Let's take a look. See
All
here.
right, dub edits.
There's actually quite a few. Anything interesting, though? Blaine's hotel card was originally a pack of tissues, referencing the Japanese concept of tissue pack marketing. I thought that was actually kind of interesting.
That is kind of interesting.
The cookies that Jesse James and Meowth were making at their booth were originally taiyaki.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I've heard of takoyaki.
I've takoyaki is octopus balls. Taiyaki,
Yeah.
I've had before. It's like a pastry with a filling, and they usually use like a mold to make them look like a fish, but it's like a pastry.
Oh, okay.
But they look
Yeah,
like
I
a
know what
fish.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Hungry I Could Eat a Horsey does not include hyperbole,
The appetizers was originally a delicacy called sankai,
which makes a joke about
which is a pun
spinning around
because
three
that's
times.
where the 3 comes from.
Yeah.
San means 3.
Fourth riddle is completely different.
Yeah.
It's about a lot of water above, fire below, which explains why they're at the hot springs.
Why would they change that?
I don't know.
They
changed some
original
weird
riddle
stuff.
is fine into a riddle that doesn't make a lot of sense.
When Blaine revealed his identity in the original, he made a pun on his name, which sounds the same as the word for wig. In the original, Ash does not tell Pikachu to aim for the horn, but simply cheers Pikachu on. Blaine gives a riddle before calling Magmar in the dub. The riddle includes a pun on Ash's name. Nothing
That's
groundbreaking.
why Ash was freaking out about it's too hot for riddles.
Yeah,
because he still does do a pun on Ash's name. But
It's almost funnier with him just saying it's too hot for riddles because it was like a funny Ash idiot moment for
it's not a riddle.
Blaine's
It's
like,
just a pun.
I've stopped doing riddles. This is serious. this isn't bad. It's kind of interesting. Again, a 7.
I don't know. There wasn't a lot of like overtly
It wasn't
Just, like,
stupid though. Yeah.
stupid decisions that
Yeah.
were made, I guess. But I don't know, 5 for me, I think.
I was thinking 6, so that's an easy, just 6.
I think you picked 6 just to make the math easy.
No, definitely not. So that is 7.6 divided by 2. That is 6.83333333.
Repeating.
Of course.
Of course.
All right, episode 61, Volcanic Panic. We start this one with a recap of the first episode. We got to skip a couple minutes in, which is
Yeah,
nice.
it's straight Dragon Ball Z energy.
Except-
100%. This whole episode.
There's a couple errors here. The narrator says Ninetales won with Ember Attack. It did not.
Yeah,
It was Fire
I
Spin.
heard that.
Oh,
And-
fucker. Dumb
Near
idiot.
the end of the recap, when Pikachu is facing down the Fire Blast, we get a line from Ash that says, "You'll feel 100% better soon, Pikachu," which he did not say in the original episode. He says in this episode later. It's
And the
very
fire,
cool.
and the fire blast is lighter in color in this one for some reason.
Oh.
But that's the recap. It's just literally just a recap of the last episode, which we just did. And so we don't need to
we're
recap
going to
the
jump
recap.
into
We're gonna recap the recap.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Pikachu is in Pika peril.
Yeah.
We're back in the fight. Pika
And Ash
Peril.
goes, Duck!
"Ah!" And he disappears. And
He's
we pan
dead.
down. We tilt down. He's hanging off the edge of the field. He's all scarred up.
He's
He
singed.
climbs back on.
Yeah, he's charred. Got a good sear.
And Ash throws in the towel. He does not let the
Ash
battle
runs
continue.
on. He's like, I finally decided that it's not worth risking Pikachu's life for, even though I risked Pikachu's life.
Pikachu's willing to keep fighting though.
Oh, yeah. He's
Pikachu
looking
wants to
tough.
keep
He's
going.
like, let's punch it out.
Pikachu's
Like,
a
whatever.
tough little mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Blaine tells him that it's a good thing he threw it in because if he had continued, he would have been disqualified as a Pokemon trainer for the danger. Which, Blaine, you're the one that is forcing trainers to fight in this danger, so this should not be legal.
You're the one who made a gym in a literal volcano.
Yeah. And so Ash vows to leave, or to not leave Cinnabar until he beats that Magmar. He wants to defeat that Magmar once and for all.
And Blaine's transformed back into a Doobie Brother and tells him to go to the hot spring. That's going to heal Pikachu.
And so they're at the hot spring, and Ash is washing up Pikachu, which is so
Very cute. Very cute.
Very cute.
Oh, adorable. And this is where he says that 100% line. You'll feel 100% better soon, Pikachu. So I don't know why they put that in the recap. That was weird.
So they're all kind of commiserating about how tough this Magmar is. Like, Misty's like, I can beat this with all the water Pokemon in the world. And Team Rocket is listening in. They are underwater in the other side of the onset. And they've got like reeds for breathing tubes. And they're sort of like also using this as training because they know they need to like be in hot environments or something.
Before this, we get a line from Brock that he says that there's plenty of other gyms that he can go get a badge from. So this is more confirmation of this idea that there are more than 8 gyms.
I wonder, do you need to have gyms from Johto specifically to go to like the Johto Elite Four? Or can you go and get, Kanto for the Kanto Elite Four? Or can you go and get like badges from Johto and apply them to different regions? Or is everything sort of like region locked, I guess?
I think the implication is that they're region locked. There's more than 8 gyms in Kanto.
It has seemed region locked. Yeah, it has seemed like there's more than 8 gyms in Kanto.
Okay.
But you only need 8. And there was this episode too where they take the tests, because that was like another kind of badge. So they've been implying that Kanto's a whole lot more vibrant. There's a lot more going on in Kanto than is shown in the game. That's kind of what they're implying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, back to Team Rocket. They're doing this competition thing. Meowth is judging it. They have to withstand the heat so that they can go into the volcano and snag this Magmar.
Yeah, he's acting like a horse race commenter. Yeah. He's like, Mama's breakfast is coming up hot, and in behind we got Sally needs a new pair of shoes.
They want this Magmar because he beat Pikachu. And so they've been going after Pikachu. They need to go after the Pokemon that beat Pikachu. And so Meowth's plan is brilliant. He's going to tell Magmar that he won a prize so that it lowers its guard and they can go catch it. Okay,
Meowth.
Genius.
Yeah, but he's like, where do I get gloves with 3 fingers?
And so in the volcano, Meowth, as a female reporter with lipstick and everything, says that Magmar has won a trip for 2 to Mount Vesuvius. And it does bring Magmar out. This tempts Magmar.
He likes his volcanoes, I guess. Big volcano fan, Magmar.
Yep.
He wants to see them all before he finally kicks the bucket.
Vesuvius, Kilimanjaro, Fuji, get them all.
Knock them all off.
Kilauea. The more active, the better.
Krakatoa. Oh,
yes.
Mount St. Helens.
And so Team Rocket goes to freeze blast it with their freeze blast guns. And this is the start of, I don't know if this is a gag or something, but this is a sort of a recurring thing that happens in this episode that I love, where Magmar just stands there.
Yeah, he's very just like...
He just takes it.
He's stoic.
He just sits there. He just knows that it's not going to bother him, so he's like, whatever.
He's like, I've never had a dodge in my life.
It's like in Dragon Ball Z when the villain just takes the fully charged like Kamehameha and just like, okay.
Yeah, and that's like that's really supposed to shock you about how strong this enemy is. It's like they don't even need a dodge. They don't even give a fuck. Like it's not even about, oh, your attack's like not bad, but mine's better. It's like they don't even give a fuck about your attack.
You're just like a mosquito to them.
Yeah, he's like, do it again. I don't care. I don't even care.
And so the freeze blast does work. Magmar is frozen in this block of ice, but he immediately melts himself out. Maybe because he's like made of fire. That could have something to do with it.
We got tons of great puns all along the way here. Jess is telling Magmar to chill out. We're gonna slide this Pokemon back to the boss like a hockey Pokemon.
Mr. Freeze energy here.
Big Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
What killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age. Chill out, Batman.
So Team Rocket panics because Magmar has melted himself out of this ice. And they go to freeze blast the entire volcano. That's their new plan. They're going to freeze the entire volcano.
I don't know why they thought that
so
would
anyway,
work.
I started blasting.
Yes. Yeah.
Why they thought it would work? I don't. Yeah. They just like panic. They're just like, let's just shoot things. America, shooting things.
And so back at the gang, Blaine comes back to them. He's like, I was on the way to the lavatory when I heard the noise, but I guess in a volcano, every room is a lavatory.
Get it? Get it?
I'll be honest, I didn't get it the first time, and then when you said it with the emphasis, I was like,
wow.
I was still hung up on the bathroom part, not the lava part.
Yeah, every room in a volcano is a place to piss. So
actually, that's where my mind went. I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
You're like, but it's a volcano, so you can just shit anywhere.
I guess so. That's
we
what I was
mind.
thinking too.
We don't
like,
mind.
You just go in the volcano, and it just nothing.
It's like nature. It just burns it. Just take a shit in the volcano, Ash. You should try it.
And so they all run down into the volcano. Team Rocket hits Blaine with the freezer blast. And he's like, "Oh, freezer burn." And Ash just looks at him and goes, maybe you should cool it with the jokes. That's also a joke. Cool it. But he is done with the jokes. The ice could set off a dangerous chain reaction that could trigger an explosion, which would level and destroy the island. And the volcano begins to fall apart.
Cool.
The demolition of this volcano sends the piece of land Team Rocket is standing on. There's a little water geyser below it, or a lava out of some geyser below it, and it sends them blasting off again. Again, not a lot of Team Rocket this episode, and they're gone.
It's very handy that hole was there, otherwise they would have gotten squashed.
They go between a rock and a very hot place. And they blast off.
I'm gonna take us on another detour into Lord of the Rings land.
Oh,
Kellan, so
God.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm turning my mind off for 2 minutes.
Listeners, we will be spoiling Rings of Power. If you want to avoid it, skip ahead about a minute, probably.
So he like Adair, and you know that it means father or something like that, right?
Okay.
He's the guy who was sent by Sauron to try to start creating the army and like build a place where orcs could live,
Okay.
right? And so basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to create Mount Doom, right?
Ah.
Okay, so right now it's like Orodruin, and it's like just a mountain, dormant volcano, and it's like a peaceful, like lush valley, right? So his plan is to figure out a way to cause the volcano or to erupt. I think it's the second to last episode, he succeeds and essentially creates Mordor. But he does that by there's a Morgul blade, like the kid in the village has it. He finds this Morgul blade, and that's like the key. And then they go to like a waterfall, and they put the sword in the stone, and it like opens up a tunnel system that flows all of the water from the waterfall into
some
Orodruin,
Goonies shit.
Yeah. And then it erupts, therefore turning it into Mount Doom, turning the land into what's now known as Mordor. So that's kind of what's happening here, which is kind of interesting with the ice blasts.
Yeah, I can't handle that Rings of Power bullshit. That's just like some weird adventure fan fiction. It's like Star Wars Episode 9, where they find like a protractor that like tells them where the
9 was so
oh
bad.
My god, the fucking Goonies protractor.
I'm in the minority. Like I actually really enjoyed 8, but 9 was just
Yeah, I'm not a hate-hater. I think
horrible.
It has some issues, but I think it did a lot right too.
Yeah.
But 9 just took a big dookie all over everything.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I do like the implications here, though, that Cinnabar Island is getting turned into Mordor, and Sauron shall reign supreme in the south reaches of Kanto. Who can defeat Sauron but Giovanni?
Well, we do know that the
true
island does
king of
become
Gondor.
desolate wasteland in the future. So
yeah,
maybe that is apt.
I think there's room for an overlap here. Just like me and Kellan, we're going to try to figure out in the future what overlaps we can find between Pokemon and Grey's Anatomy. So I think a real 3-way crossover of Grey's Anatomy, Lord of the Rings, and Pokemon could have some real potential. Because good things come in threes, right? So we're going to have 3 series.
That's hitting a lot of different markets as far as
it's
different genres.
Pure market penetration. That's how we maximize To Kill a Delibird. We get the trifecta of fandoms, Pokemon, Grey's Anatomy, and Lord of the Rings. Hit them all at once. Kellan, you can talk again.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through Reddit until you said Cinnabar, and then I my brain reactivated.
He's like an Alexa.
Yeah.
Waits for the keyword.
Kellan, continue the narrative.
So
Sorry.
lava bursts through the cracks in the volcano. The volcano is minutes away from erupting, and so Blaine tells Magmar, start putting rocks into the crater, into this to block the flow. And Pikachu takes it on himself to help. Very good, Pikachu.
So
Love
cute.
it.
Yes,
So
amazing
cute.
Pikachu.
But only a fire Pokemon can withstand the volcano's heat. And so Ash takes a chance on Charizard. He sends Charizard back out. He naps.
Classic.
Charizard ain't having it. Magmar is putting his best in, though, to stop the flow of lava.
And this is where the interesting music starts coming in. Like, very cool music during this whole thing. And the music just, like, cascades and booms throughout the whole rest of the episode, basically.
And so Magmar is putting these rocks in to stop the flow of lava. The pressure is too much, and it continues to bust through. This is where Charizard looks at Magmar. And we get these really cool still images.
This is fucking sick. Of these, like, comic book hand-drawn kind of
watercolor
portraits. Yeah. Of, like, so Charizard's just, like, opening his eyes, and he just sees Magmar in different, like, JoJo poses. Man, I've been bringing up JoJo a lot, but these, like, sick poses while he's, like, throwing rocks in there. Yeah, those frames were really cool.
And he sees the amount of strength Magmar has, and this motivates Charizard to help. He gets into the thing, and I noted sick guitar riff.
Oh,
That's
it's
what I
not just a
noted.
sick guitar riff. It's a huge walking bass line.
Yeah, it's all
like,
great.
bum, 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 and then a dramatic piano over top. Damn.
And so now we go into a nice, long, really good sequence. The whole thing is fantastic. Brock
Mhm.
sends out Onyx and Geodude to help now because they're rock Pokemon. They can withstand the heat.
But I
We've seen
thought only a
Ash.
fire Pokemon
No,
could withstand the
apparently.
heat.
They backtrack on their own rules instantly. They're like, only fire Pokemon can help. And then Brock's like, rock Pokemon can take the heat. And they're like, those two logical statements are in conflict with each other.
But they both make sense, right? Rock
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
especially in
Mhm.
the universe, Rock has a fire resistance, right?
Yes.
And Misty, water Pokemon, can help everybody cool down. Okay.
She says she's going to have Starmie help, but she sends out Staryu. And also Psyduck comes out.
She mixes up Staryu and Starmie a
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, actually. Yeah.
And so Ash has Squirtle help out. And so we get this great little bit where Onyx, Geodude, Staryu, and Squirtle are all lined up ready to go. Psyduck runs across the screen, Misty chases him, and then Pikachu slowly walks into the screen, faces the camera, and goes, Pika! As in, like, go! And the rest of them go off to start doing their
That's
work.
amazing.
Yeah, just strikes
Fantastic.
a pose.
Fist pump in the air, Rocky style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sends them off
That's awesome.
adorably, and he starts helping too. So we get even Togepi is trying her best. She almost falls
Aw.
into the lava though. It's very cute. This whole sequence rips ass. It's fantastic.
It is awesome, except it is basically a full 2 minutes of the same thing,
Yeah.
reused animation over and over again,
They're just
3
throwing
times.
rocks around. Yeah.
But the music is so good.
But the music's so good. It also
music is
okay. So
awesome.
I was watching on Pokemon.com and I had closed captioning on, and it has closed captions for. It doesn't do it all the time, but suddenly, or starting around here, it had closed captions for the Pokemon.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like when Charizard joins Magmar, it just says happy, and then it says exertion.
Yeah. When Magmar got introduced and he did a little at the beginning of this episode, they put the same subtitle on, exertion.
Exertion. And so now that they're getting somewhere with blocking the flow, it says pleased. and Magmar and Charizard give each other fuck eyes.
Yeah.
They meet and they're like, can you feel the love tonight? And this is pleased.
Whenever Charizard flew by carrying a rock, I couldn't help but think, once again, what is the airspeed velocity of a fully laden Charizard?
Oh my god.
African or European?
I don't know.
We should start having to put dollars in the jar for quoting that scene.
That's just this episode. It's about riddles.
I just in our lives. I think we've been quoting that a lot. I think we have a problem.
I've been
we
quoting
need an
Monty Python
intervention.
since I was 10.
I've been quoting Monty Python since before you were born.
So yeah, like you said, the Pokemon have successfully stopped the flow of the lava, and Charizard and Magmar look at each other with fire in their eyes.
It's a fine line between lust and rivalry. Right,
That's true.
UFC
It really
fighters?
is
You ever
true.
see a UFC fight and you're like, are they just going to start dicking down? They're really into each other.
Even the pre-fight, they're just all
Yeah,
over each
no
other.
kiss.
Yeah. Now kiss.
And so Ash, the gall of this child, goes up to Blaine. He's like, I think I deserve a volcano badge for that. Fuck off, Ash.
Like, he's learned a bad habit
Yeah.
with all these gym leaders giving him badges for no reason
He's
before.
been reinforced. It's
Yeah.
not his fault.
And so Blaine is smart. He tells him, no, you got to earn it. I'm going to give you another chance to battle me for the volcano badge. And so they're atop the volcano. Blaine's like, is this okay? Ash is like, yeah, and that's going to be important later.
Did you guys notice when after Ash asks if you give the volcano badge and he does the anime sort of half fall, his wig also half falls
With them.
Oh.
Blaine's with him? He does a half fall and then the wig half a second later does it too.
The wig is a different ditto. It also has control over itself.
There's a podcast I listen to, Dungeons and Daddies, and it's a D&D podcast.
Wow, you
And
keep shouting out other podcasts. What is with this free marketing? Okay, sorry, keep going.
Maybe I'll go on their podcast and shout out yours too.
Oh, please.
Yes, I'll get on that. Anyway, one of the items in that world is a sentient mustache.
Oh, nice.
And if you wear the sentient mustache, it gives you advice.
Very Minish cap.
Yeah. So when you said that, the wig reminded me of that.
Like a sentient wig.
Yeah.
Right, so on top of the volcano, they're gonna fight. Pikachu,
One-on-one.
his closed caption is excited. The Charizard steps forward and we get the closed captions, disagreement, followed by curious. Finally, we land on confident.
There you go.
Aren't those good? And there's a fire in Charizard's eyes.
It's going to be a one-on-one. Blaine says, I bet you know who I'm going to go with. It's Magmar. Ash is going to go for Pikachu. But at this moment, Charizard is still on the field. And Charizard steps in. He is going to fight. He wants to fight Magmar to test his own strength. He respects Magmar, and thus is going to fight kind of alongside Ash.
I like
Mainly
that
for
little
himself.
finger wag he gives to Pikachu. He's like,
Yeah.
not this time, bro.
Not this time. I got this.
And so it's Charizard versus Magmar.
This
Magmar.
becomes very Dragon Ball Z.
Closed
at this
caption,
moment.
concentrating.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, this even the setup to it is very Dragon Ball Z. I'll get into that in literary hour, but this is a whole trope.
Magmar Fire Blasts. And I'll talk about Fire Blast for a second. So Fire Blast, when it comes out, and this is in the games too, it is shaped in this like 5-pointed design. This is supposed to represent the kanji symbol for like big or large.
Big.
Because this is yeah.
You just said the word big flying.
Because this is the ultimate fire attack, save for Blast Burn, but that's very specific. But Fire Blast is like the greatest fire attack, and so it is represented as large. Charizard takes this Fire Blast and holds it.
Yeah.
It's pushing him back. He throws it into the air, and as it's flying through the air, in the Japanese only, they edited this for the dub. In the Japanese, as it's flying away, the kanji for large in the Fire Blast morphs into the kanji for medium and then the kanji for small.
Oh,
and then
that's
disappears.
awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Not only did Charizard manage to hold off the attack, he actually changed the semantics of it.
Yeah.
And that's Dragon Ball Z as fuck, too. We get the closed captioning struggling, followed by exertion, and he sends the blast flying away. And fire has stopped being fire at this point. It is now just like energy, and you can like combat the energy by being a baller, just like by being dope as fuck. You're like, I'm just awesome.
Two flamethrowers meet in the middle, and they hold it for a second, and they explode at the point of contact.
It's a tie!
I was here for the air lens, but when it came to Charizard holding the Fire Blast, I just looked at the screen and went, what the fuck is this?
Oh,
That's
I loved
so
it.
Cool.
It was
love
cool.
That. It's amazing.
Come on.
I think that's because me and Nolan are fans of stupid bullshit like this. But the fire lens, I'm like, okay. But then Charizard grabs the Fire Blast. I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Blaine has Magmar Skull Bash, and he charges at Charizard. Charizard is like preparing for something, but he's too slow. Magmar hits him, boom, into one of the other spires. He falls down to the lava. He recovers, boom, in the nick of time, flies up, and dives down onto Magmar. When the dust clears,
Magmar.
When the dust clears, Magmar and Charizard are in fisticuffs. They're holding each other off.
Grips.
They're
in
death
death grips. The battle music has hit its peak. It had started during this battle, very Final Fantasy battle music. It has now become Pokemon battle music with these banging riffs, and it is just flying.
They're in this death grip. Magmar jumps out of it, causes Charizard to lose his balance, and Magmar
flips over Charizard's head.
Takes Charizard in his arms and dives into the lava. And Ash
he performs Donkey Kong's grab from Super Smash Bros. Melee, where you put him on your back and jumps off the level.
And Ash pulls out the rule book on this. He's like, you can't do that. You can't send my Pokemon into the lava. But Blaine makes the justification that, hey, I asked if fighting atop this volcano was okay, and you said yes, therefore I am legally allowed to kill your Pokemon.
He says under volcano is part of the volcano.
Yeah.
He makes that technicality.
Fucking schoolyard bully bullshit.
We think Charizard's done for, but then he emerges from the lava with Magmar still on his back.
So cool.
And he goes for an aerial submission. Not a move. Submission's a move. Aerial submission, not a thing.
Show him your aerial submission
Ash
move.
doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Charizard is doing all of this, and Ash is just like trying to be part
Pretending
of it.
that he's
when
commanding
Ash
it.
is like yelling stuff at Charizard earlier when like he and Magmar are like in death grips, he's like, yelling stuff at him and Pikachu's like pulling on his leg. I wonder if Pikachu knows what's going on and Pikachu's just like, shut up, let him fight.
Yeah, basically.
And so Ash pulls the technicality again. The Pokemon are in the air. He's like, well, above the volcano counts as the volcano.
They threw that logic right back at him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was fair.
And he has Charizard go for the seismic toss. And so Charizard in the air holding Magmar spins in circles. He circles the earth many times, making Magmar dizzy.
The world appears very Superman Christopher Reeves. It looks like he's flying around the world. The animation here is peak. This is pure Sakuga.
So good. So he grabs Magmar in his hand by the arm, I believe, and swings him around and chucks him down towards the volcano, falling into the lava.
So cool.
Causing this big light explosion. Magmar hops out of the lava onto Spire. It appears to have done absolutely nothing. Seemingly.
Well, he looks stoned as fuck, though.
Yeah, well, that's always Magmar.
Oh,
Seemingly,
okay.
because Magmar takes a beat, it goes quiet, and then, boom. Magmar topples over. He's done. He's unable to fight. Ash has won. Well, Charizard has won, but Ash has won his badge.
And Charizard just starts blasting fire in victory. He just starts furiously masturbating in the middle. He's just like putting all of it, really exerting himself all over the ring here.
He flamethrowers Ash, and Ash is like, come back now. He's like, fuck no.
Yeah.
So he's gotten
Let me celebrate.
He's gotten way more cocky, and he was already very cocky before.
Yeah, this has done nothing for his ego.
No. And so we get one last riddle. Blaine is going to give the badge. She says, "What is red but has no words?" It's the volcano badge.
Stupid
Togepi thought this
riddle.
was hilarious. None of the others did. They all hated it. They thought it was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And so Ash has officially gotten 7 gym badges. He needs 1 more to enter the Pokemon League. And he is told about the Viridian City Gym, which is where we started our adventure, where they can obtain the Earth Badge. Ash asked Misty why she didn't tell him about that when they were in Viridian City. And she's like, I don't know. I was like annoyed with you about something. And Brock's like, well,
We were
actually,
fighting."
it was because he took your bike and wrecked it and did not give you your bike back. And she was like, oh, yeah, Ashketchum, you'll give me my bike back. And they go off. That is the
And
episode.
scene.
That was a good joke on kind of like almost satiring the fact that Viridian City in the game is the second city you go to,
Yep.
but like the last badge that you fight for. And the narrator ends it off nicely. And so Ash hurries to Viridian City, eager to compete for the green Earth Badge. Meanwhile, Misty is seeing red, and that's sure to make Brock blue. Orange dying to find out what happens next.
Got him. But that's the episode. Hit it. Book time.
Literary hour. So the trope is the worthy opponent trope. And this
I
is
love
where the character sees someone that is so strong that they want to fight. They want to participate that.
Ever.
And they almost like have like a weird kind of friendship that's coming out of the rivalry because they're so enthralled with this person's superiority in their craft. Every single shonen anime has done this forever. I guess interesting aspects of this would be like when in Dragon Ball Z, it does this constantly. But I think an interesting call out would be the Majin fight where Vegeta suspends to whatever his name is, the wizard. Yeah, he gets taken over by the Majin magic to get more powers to
Bobbity?
Fight. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, right? Yeah, Bobbidi. Yeah.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Yeah.
He gets taken over by Bobbidi
Yes,
to
Kellan, those
fight.
are their names.
Okay.
to fight Goku because Goku's gotten so strong and he is so amped up. There's also, Vegeta's doing this constantly. It's like when Vegeta hands over the androids to Imperfect Cell because he wants to fight the strongest Cell so badly, and that goes terribly.
Horribly.
But there are literary examples of this too. So this happens with Sherlock Holmes in various cases where he's up against people who, he finds as kind of mental equals.
Yeah, Moriarty.
Moriarty. There is a dad book called Day of the Jackal that has a movie with Bruce Willis, if you've ever seen that, where it's like a cop and an assassin are sort of trying to figure each other out, kind of playing back and forth. And oh my God, this assassin is so good. He's my mental equal. I kind of want to make out with him. There's that kind of thing. The book I'll land on, though, is the Hemingway novel, The Old Man and the Sea, where the fisherman, Santiago, has had a really tough time catching fish, making his livelihood for so long. He finally lands this massive marlin and spends like days trying to pull it in. And he gets a weird kind of respect with the fish. There's even a line here, "Fish, I love you and I respect you very much. but I will kill you before this day ends. He sort of becomes, almost has a friendship with the rival through the struggle of life and death. And that's Charizard in this episode, right? He does not respond to sort of the typical Pokemon stuff of friendship and, trying to overcome things through the power of friendship. He responds to the worthy opponent trope. He responds to, oh, Magmar's tough shit. I'm going to be tough shit. Let's all be tough shit.
He is Vegeta.
He's Vegeta, yeah. And Vegeta's not the kind of guy you want to go to a party with, No,
God, no.
He would
He's
be constantly picking fights. You'd be like having to haul him out. You'd be like, God, Vegeta again? You got to stop drinking, man. This is the third guy you've punched.
All right, that's right.
Kellan actually blacks out during literary hour.
Goes back into hibernation.
First category is originality.
Originality is such an interesting one because originality with respect to Pokemon, it's been a while since we've just had like a raw battle kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of original in that respect.
Charizard kind of listens to Ash.
Have we had sort of the morphing stage yet? Like, I like that we start in one location and it gets like blown up and then becomes like its own battle arena. That's actually fun.
But Charizard isn't really listening to Ash. He's only quote unquote listening to Ash because they have the same end game in mind.
Mm-hmm.
They both want to beat Magmar. They're kind of aligned in this sense, but they're not. He's not fighting Magmar out of respect for Ash. He's fighting Magmar out of respect for Magmar.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Right.
100%.
Nothing with Charizard has changed.
I think that's an original solution to a gym battle, though. We've seen a whole bunch where Ash wins off of accident. Then we saw some where he kind of wins off of merit, sorta. And this is one where he wins because Charizard is an asshole, but also like pretty strong. He's a strong asshole. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 6.
Yeah. I mean, I'm there too. It's not like super original, but it is something new. I think how Team Rocket's role is just like they bumble in, cause like a terrible situation, and get blown away right away was kind of fun. But yeah, I'll go with the 6 as well.
They just kind of like come in, advance the plot, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I won't argue with any of that. 6 is fine. Make it easy for you, Kellan.
Easy peasy.
666, the number of the beast.
Category 2. Ooh, this is a good one. We haven't had this one yet. It's one of the newer ones. Not how the game works.
Okay, Kellan, take it away.
Well, obviously you can't use the environment in Gen 1.
Yeah, there's no lava to fight with.
I swear you had some
aerial
moves.
submission.
You had some moves.
Aerial submission isn't a
aerial
move.
submission.
Aerial submission is not a thing. Seismic toss is.
Didn't you call out some of the fire moves?
That was last episode.
Oh, that was last episode.
Fire Blast is actually like the ultimate fire move.
Charizard didn't cast Protect when he cast. Protect.
But yeah, holding the fire, yeah, that's not a thing.
Oh, that was dope as heck.
It was cool though. 2 flamethrowers.
Yeah, 2
meeting.
flamethrowers.
It's turn-based RPG. It's not. You can't both attack at once.
Type matchup doesn't make sense.
Type matchups make no sense. Yeah, they should be resisting all fire moves.
I mean, if Magmar landed on a rock pillar and he threw him through, then that makes sense.
Yeah, but he threw him into the lava, which I mean, you don't use the lava.
Sure, I think was it last episode, Graham? You were talking about how you would have liked to have more of those like weird incidental things happen in the games.
Well, yeah, where like I think by watching the show, you sort of get the feel. You start imagining stuff like that, right? You start imagining the Pokemon as real animals, and I think I was talking about Jolteon's pins, maybe.
Right, that's what it was. Yes, it was.
Because, like, that's the kind of thing you're like, that's how it looks, so this is what would happen.
That reminded me of when I was first learning how to play, like, the Pokemon, like, card game when I was a kid. I was playing with our cousin on the other side. I have an extremely vivid memory of he had, like, a Machop out, and I was playing, I can't remember who I had, but I attacked him, and he's like, okay, that attack does 20 damage. And you know how on the card, the Machop card, he's holding a boulder above his head?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, so the attack did 20 damage, and then Machop would have dropped the boulder, it landed on his tail, and then take another 10. I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
No child played that game how it was meant to be played.
I went to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament at a mall once when I was a kid, and I lost the first match because the guy used Soul Exchange, and we both just thought that Soul Exchange flipped the card. So now you had my Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I had your shitty card. it does not work like that. It actually, you just both sacrifice your cards so you can play a different monster. But it's like neither of us read the card, and that was why I lost.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like sticks in your brain. These things.
I remember going to a Pokemon League with you at Toys R Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us. They give you real badges. It was actually
I have that Thunder
sweet.
badge on my corkboard right now.
Oh, nice. I think I
that.
got some weird shiny cards from that too. I think that you have, right?
That I have? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, they would be in the ones I gave you.
Oh, do you mean like holo cards?
Yeah.
You say shiny. I think shiny Pokemon.
Wow.
But yeah,
I don't give a fuck about shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, I know.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
Anyway,
RNG for the sake of RNG. They're just a different color. Oh my god. What were we doing? Were we ranking?
We're rating the episode.
Yeah, for what? Oh, this is not how the game works. Yeah, we're waiting for you to give a score.
Like a 10-minute tangent.
We were waiting for you to give a score.
Yeah, and I was waiting for you to shut up so I could talk. Okay, so in terms of not how the game works, aside from aerial submission and the fight arena, it actually quite accurate, I would say.
Well, and the Charizard throwing the Fire Blast.
That too, yeah. So other than that, like that's 4 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow you. You're the expert on this category.
Yeah,
4's fine.
Again, I won't argue.
That's 4s and 6s, right?
Yeah, so 5 out of 10. Most average episode.
I'm just here to drag us on weird tangents.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Most average episode, and it was actually like one of the best
It was
episodes.
great.
So
Episode. But that is it for this week.
Tower of Terror
Took a
and
while.
Volcanic Panic are my goats so far, and they both have great names. Like, so is it a coincidence?
I don't think so.
All, objectively, they're horrible.
No, Tower of Terror actually is our best objective episode too.
I don't think it's a
is it
title
actually?
thing because the Case of the Canine Caper is a good name, and that episode was kind of garbage.
Yeah, there's no case.
Yeah.
There was no case, yeah.
But no, yeah, Tower of Terror is our only 10 out of 10
Only
episodes
10.
so far.
It's our goat objective.
Mm-hmm. But that is it for this week. You want to learn what we're doing next week?
Yep.
All right, it's 2 more episodes. We're looking at episode 62, Beach Blank Out Blastoise. That's a fun one as well to say. And episode 63, The Misty Mermaid. That's what we're doing next week.
Sounds like we're back to filler.
Yep.
But we have a lot of fun.
Not
with
for
filler.
long, though. I think in 2 weeks, we're back to another badge.
Yeah, we're moving. This
The
is a
Giovanni
good part of
episode
the
is
episode.
tight. I remember that.
Oh,
That's good.
But that's
Exciting.
next week. We'll see you next Monday for that. Graham, hit
Yeah.
us with your stuff that you say in the outro. 'Cause I don't remember the name.
Yeah, well, thank you, Nolan, for joining. Had a lot of fun on this episode. Explored a lot
Thanks
of
for having
wacky
me again.
stuff. You can find us on the Hydra Leech YouTube channel. Please leave a comment if you want to let us know how the show's going. Any kind of feedback, suggestions for the foreport. You can comment on the episodes, or you can email us at tokilladdelibird@gmail.com. Audio format is found wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. I'm Graham. That's been Kellan, the annoyed one, and our producer Nolan. And
Awesome.
That's about it.
Kellan, you can go play Pikmin 4 now.
Hell yeah, I am.
We held him captive this whole time. He's so mad.
This is a
He's just gonna
hostage
die.
situation.
I'm confident this is the longest recording we've ever
He's
had.
like, if I don't play Pikmin in 2 minutes, I'm going to die.
I'm going to
He's
lose
gonna
it.
cut me entirely out of the episode. It's gonna be non sequiturs after non sequiturs because there's
We actually split this
Missing
episode into
content.
2 audio tracks. One that is just me and Kellan talking, and it's like 30 minutes, and then another that is the Nolan cut.
It's the 2 hours.
The 2
it's like
hours.
the Snyder.
It's the Snyder
cut.
cuts. Yeah, we're releasing it only on HBO Max.
You join our Patreon.
Yeah, you get the Nolan cut.